What's up, guys? Welcome to the newest edition of Slow Pitch Wrasslin.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. I don't know that one.
Come on. Welcome back guess who's back? Rock him.
Oh,
I was hoping you were going to do Mace. Welcome back.
yes, much better
A little
tune.
more.
Yes.
Much better.
Harlem World.
Much better tune.
Much better tune.
Wow.
No culture over here.
I don't think they have it on iTunes, actually. I don't think they have it on iTunes.
It is the boys, and we are back to talk a little wrestling. Been a hot minute, but we're here to bring you what's been going on in our world of wrestling lately. Let's say hello to the fine gentleman sitting here with me, Mr. Stephen Walsh. What is up?
Not much, and everything all at the same time, right?
Yeah.
It's been a busy summer. Missed our slow pitch family, our slow pitch universe here, but we're back at it.
You've been killing tacos lately.
I've been the taco man. Taco Libre came to life this summer. The Otisville Fair is over. Back to my wrestling life. Thank God.
Lucas? Hey, pal.
Hello, boys.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. How goes it this fine evening?
It's been a brutal summer.
Been tough for you. You've been a lot of manual labor for you.
A lot of manual labor.
Manuel Lucas.
Yeah, the hotel slow pitch is coming along. Hope we can start doing the show by the pool.
Almost ready for reservations. Maybe next summer.
Maybe next summer, guys. Maybe next summer. I have the pizza oven installed, and
That
a
would
lot of
be
baseball,
sick.
a lot of lacrosse, and I just keep piling it on.
How is the season's going? Those gotta be getting over soon. Huh?
They're done. We're actually on a 3-week break right now before this fall season starts. I'm in week 2 of my 3-week break of no kids sports. So we did some camps. My 6-year-old got asked not to come back to soccer camp today.
Awesome. What do you do?
I'd like to hear that story. I just hope we're also kicking the ball in the kids' heads.
It involved doing a drill, tripping and falling, kids laughing at him, and him basically giving them kids a piece of his mind, kicking the cones over.
Solid.
Yeah, like you're
Big
not
old
gonna laugh
meltdown,
at
right?
me. Yeah.
Like father, like son.
Yeah, you're not gonna laugh at me. How about your stuff's all on the floor now? Something like that.
That's
And
the kind of kid I want.
so they called my wife last night and they asked that he not come back and you can have your money back, which
That's a plus.
well, that was my first thought was, you don't want my kid back. Listen, I just paid for 2 weeks of camp and it's only day 2.
Wow.
So they were like, you can have your money back.
Early exit for the boy.
Just don't bring him back. Hey, listen, we only train animals in my house. You know what I mean?
Apparently.
Savages.
I'm for it. He's
Yep.
having savages on that soccer field.
So we started our new travel baseball team. We're having tryouts in September. It's open to all Hudson Valley residents under the age of 11 years old.
I just missed the cut.
Yes. I don't know, if you put that Johnny Damon uniform on again, you might be able to sneak in there.
That's true. Keep losing some weight. Lose about another 100 pounds.
You are just a little bit bigger than a giant 11-year-old right
Yes,
now.
yes. The shit these kids are
If
eating.
you watch the Little League World Series, there's some kids in there with mustaches and shit. They're trying to say your kid's 12 years old.
I love that kid from last year. He was kind of a bigger kid, but he was the one who said, my name's Luke, and I hit dangers.
I hate dingers.
And
Yep.
he came through. He hit a few of them.
He did.
Nice.
It was a human highlight reel on ESPN.
There was a great, like a 2-minute video on Facebook going around last year. I shared it was dudes our age. It was like, hey, I'm Kyle. I'm 11. My favorite player is Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
And I like Fortnite. And then like there'll be like a real kid. Then there'll be another guy. My favorite player is Mark McGuire. Like they were playing the same players 20, 25 years ago. But I'm 12.
That reminds me of Key and Peele when they used to do player introductions. Like on Sunday Night Football, they have them all slide in stuff, so they would dress up as different players with the most fucked up names.
Yeah, Key and Peele are amazing.
Showing your age there, referencing Keenan and Peele.
That's not too.
No, Key and Peele's not bad. You're thinking Keenan and Kel.
Yeah, you're a
I've never seen.
Fucking dinosaur.
I've never seen one episode of either one of those shows. I've heard of them. I've never seen any of them. So what's going on with you, Murph? How have you spent your last 3 months not hanging out with us? Front row tickets to shows.
Yeah, going to Ring of Honor.
Only-
front row.
Going to
Only
after
one.
parties.
Only one.
Only one show.
Did a move. It's an in-between move again. I'm the king of fucking moving.
It's a
But,
tweener.
currently in between leases, so figuring that out. But I got vacation next week, so that'll be nice.
All 4 week next week.
Yeah.
I got to do that.
I'll be on the golf course more than anything, but
I might have to join you.
We'll see how that goes.
I need a couple days off.
go for it.
Vacation
We're
starts
close
out
now.
with
We're gonna run right to Sony Ford.
starts out with NEW. We're gonna get to that later, but
That's true.
vacation
That's true.
starts
Big
off with a
start.
big bang.
That's the kickoff party.
That's right.
But I would say the biggest news that we have to share is that we will have a correspondent on the Jericho cruise this year.
Thank God. Thank God.
I don't know if we can get
Round of
into,
applause for the move he pulled off to get on the Jericho.
I think we need a quick synopsis of
Amazing.
how this went down, and there's certain details that you shouldn't leave out.
I have to give
20-second timeout.
most, if not all, credit.
Before you get into your story, I replayed what you did to get on the cruise in my head, in my house, many times, and each time I was like, yeah, it's not gonna work.
That ain't gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
So I was on Facebook and it popped up and they were like, we've got 100 cabins left or whatever it was at the time, 150 cabins left. And I was like, damn, I really want to go on this cruise. And I was thinking about WrestleMania, how we were like, we're gonna go, we're not gonna go, we're gonna go, not gonna go. Then 2 days before, I tried to buy tickets and I relayed that story, that fiasco.
Definitely a better move than going to WrestleMania.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for real. Especially with all the lights. Shout out to our boys in the Wrestling Express. But
Tommy McGrogan still sees dots.
yeah, he can't drive anymore. Still.
Yeah, he's got cataracts.
So I bring it up to my wife, in front of my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law was staying with us for a couple weeks, and my mother-in-law was like, "You guys should go. You should go. It sounds like fun." And my wife's like, whatever. I'm not into it. And I'm like, it'll be a lot of fun. And I was like, "You should go." So my wife says, maybe.
Boom.
Boom.
There it is.
I jumped on it.
Yep.
I jumped on
The
it.
door cracked open.
So,
you busted in.
I said, you know what? Let me go on there. I'll just make a profile on the website. You know what I mean? I'll see. I'll get the updates. I'll get this. I'll get us involved. I'll see what we can do. And then when I get on there, I'm looking at a room for I think it was like $800 or $900 a person. And
Was that like drink packages and stuff, or that?
no, the drink package is actually on this cruise a little extra, but So I'm looking at it, and it was a balcony or whatever, so I'm looking at it, and I go to talk to her, and I come back, and she was actually in the shower, so I come back, and that room's gone. I'm like, holy shit, these rooms are flying.
Yeah.
So I see a room that was actually a little bit cheaper, but it still had a balcony. It was a little farther down the ship. I was like, you know what, I just got to go for it. Like, she gave me the maybe.
Yeah.
Her mom said
Oh,
she
definitely.
watched the kids. Like,
Maybe it was close enough.
So by the time she threw me a maybe, got in the shower, and came back out, we're going.
We're both.
we're on this cruise. So then I also had a miscalculation. I was reading through, and it was about... $200 deposit each. So I'm like, that's not bad. $400, drop $400 right now. That was if you put this deposit down like 5 or 6 months ago. So my miscalculation is by this point I needed to have $1,300 to them. So I send them like $400. We're in. You know what I mean? I get an email right back. To bring your account to date, you need to send us the other whatever it was.
The other
Other $1,300, or I was like
$800,
$1,300 or $1,700 or whatever I had to be at the time. So I told her, I was like, I got some good news, some bad news, and some wild fucking news. We're going on vacation.
Why did you record this? You go live for everything in your
Yeah.
life.
Oh no, because I
didn't.
didn't.
Went live on this.
I don't want to go live for a domestic.
Yeah.
So.
You didn't play.
Oh, she was
your
gonna
head.
eat me alive. So she's looking at me, and she's not even like, she's still in the towel. I'm like, you look great. She's like staring at me, and I'm like, we're going on vacation. We're going on Jericho cruise. There's all sorts of cool shit going on. I was like, but the thing is, they need all this money like today. And she's like, I'm gonna kill you. Like you're gonna die. So the very next, but I was like, we were in the process of looking for minivans, and we're shopping for vans or new cars, SUVs. The very next day, we ended up buying a brand new fucking minivan. Believe it or
Would you
not.
look at that?
Would you take a look at that?
It's funny how that happened.
Yeah, we went out with all sorts of rules. We're not going to do this. We're not going over this payment. We're not, we'll walk out. If this guy said that, this, that, and the other thing, and we broke every rule.
How do you like the new automobile?
Love it, love it. I can't hate on the van. It's great. And she loves
Town
it.
and Country?
It's a Dodge.
A Dodge.
Grand Caravan. Yeah, I
Very
love
nice.
it. Love it.
Nice color.
Classic.
I like it.
Yeah, 2018. Beautiful.
It's awesome.
Right.
Lot more room.
So-
You're gonna be driving down to the pier in style.
But yes, that whole long-winded bullshit about my minivan, but I'm going on the Jericho cruise, thank God.
So that should be a good time. I mean, basically, it's going to be another AEW event. It's what it seems.
Yes.
I'd honestly be surprised this time around if many of those companies let.
Other companies like...
I mean, I guess it was a lot of Ring of Honor guys around last time. You get a lot more independent wrestlers.
Yes.
And then AEW.
It had the Sea of Honor tournament last time. Most people know the story of this cruise, but he offered it to NXT and WWE first, and they had big meetings and everything, but it didn't work out. The Sea of Honor tournament, It was a great thing for Ring of Honor, but I think Ring of Honor feels like they were left with egg on their face after helping All In and the Cruise and everything else, and then they lost a quarter to half their roster.
I could be making this completely up, but I thought I'd heard that Jericho, it took him a couple years to figure out how to make that ring not sway with the boat.
They had to bring in a company. It's almost like the gyroscope ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the ring is on the ship, but then it's on like a center of gravity thing, so it doesn't move as the ship moves. Pretty wild.
The story I heard was he got the technology after Kiss's cruise, the Kiss cruise, because their stage had that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that they put their stage on something similar. But yeah, Jericho Cruise, I'm in, baby. Two of my coworkers in the coming also. We got a mini suite.
No way.
So all four of us are sharing a mini suite. Actually, my wife and
that's pretty cool.
My partner at work and this other guy. So it's gonna be a great time.
She's gonna have a blast.
Oh yeah, my wife's gonna kill me. We're driving to Miami.
What?
In the minivan, baby. We just got a fucking brand new minivan. I haven't taken that thing to
I
Miami.
completely forgot that goes out of Miami.
Oh yeah,
You're
Miami to the
driving
Bahamas.
Miami?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you're
Clark
saving
Griswold,
$600.
I do Disney every year. I drive down.
Yeah. Well, how long does it take you? Or do you make it like a stops on the way and shit?
Usually on the way down we stop in I believe Florence, one of the Carolinas.
South Carolina.
Florence, South Carolina. That's like where everybody from New York stops.
Really?
Don't go to Olive Garden, it's awful. Anyway, there's a bunch of other restaurants.
So don't try the local Italian.
Yeah, no. Italian place is terrible. And then on the way home, I usually just want to get home, so I usually just rock it back. I drive the whole way myself, but it's usually like
here to the Port of
about
Miami.
18 to 20 hours.
Here to the Port of Miami is 19 hours. It says.
No, that's wrong.
Longer.
Fucking way longer.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Miami's another couple hours from Disney.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been the time that you said you were leaving. Maybe they were like you're missing.
No,
New Jersey
it can't be.
traffic or
It's
something.
still. I don't think the
like,
mileage
just
works
no
out
matter what.
Yeah, maybe if you're doing like 140.
Well, it is a Dodge.
Brand new, yeah.
Grand Caravan. Yeah. You ever see Adventures in Babysitting? All right, nobody cares about Adventures in Babysitting. Let's talk about some wrestling.
Want to give a shout out to ECPW. We were given the opportunity to do some commentary out in Hillburn, New York. Saw Miggs and Wreaking Havoc. We saw Nunzio was there.
Nunzio and Playboy Paulie put on a great event.
We do have a video of an interview with Nunzio. I think maybe we'll put up on the YouTube.
Yes, that's already up.
It is up on the YouTube, so we'll show that link out.
We have a long lost interview with Kenny Bangle. Along the lines of Bret Hart, Tom McGee. It might be a network special about 20 years.
Yes, Kenny Bangle faced Nunzio.
Yes, Kenny Bangle and Nunzio was a great match. Kenny Bangle was a great guy. He gave us some of his time that night. Put on a great show. He gave the kids some of his time. He was a class act.
Old friend of the show, Sergeant Cash, was there as well.
Yes,
good match too.
I ran into him in the back there. We were doing interviews. I was like, "Hey, what's up? You remember?" He's like, "Yeah, I do." And I was like, "I look a lot better than the last time out." He's like, "Yeah, you do." Go back and check out the Be Cool episode.
Yeah, look at that. 19 hours and 7 minutes. I thought it was way longer to Miami from here.
So that's not too bad.
No.
No, it's not bad at all. It's like double shift at work.
So yeah, great time at ECPW. Always thankful for the opportunity to help them out.
Yeah, big shout out to Gino Caruso, Wreaking Havoc. Everybody's very good to us there. The Lynches, Brian and Matthew Lynch.
The Los
Intocables.
Los Intocables.
Yankee and Felix.
Obviously, the Fun House. Meigs.
Gotta get the Yankee and Felix on the show. Every time we see you, we run into them. Great guys.
Yes. And then we tell them we're get a month and we don't have a show for 2 months.
Yeah, true.
Right.
We're back like butt cracked up.
We are in full swing.
So do you want to hit up G1 first?
Please.
So
I'm gonna have to rip right through all this stuff.
G1 is finally over after a month of. I shouldn't say it that way. It does take a month, and it is a very long tournament.
Shout out to Sean.
Shout out to our boy Sean for sure.
Looking it up. Climbed up the tallest tree.
Sean is the new NJPW plug. He's got the lowdown. He's got that guy is very smart.
The tallest tower in the Kansas City woods that he lives in now to get us a signal.
I love it.
It was awesome. I was waking up for work and waiting in my car watching.
I subscribed to NJPW World probably about a month and a half to 2 months ago now. Right as the G1 started.
Network or whatever?
Yes, that's their subscription service. A big knock, I gotta stop saying, the big knock on New Japan is their streaming capability and their ability to reach the United States. They've been over the last, 2.5, 3 years now. The great event they put on out in California a couple years ago now, the Young Bucks against the Golden Lovers at the pavilion there. But they need to definitely get a better app. I need to go through Google, go to New Japan World, and then sign into my account there, go to the English content. It takes forever. Instead
Just to get in.
Yeah, instead of WWE Network, you hit your app, you go to network and you're watching something within 30 seconds. So it does take a little bit longer. Once you get into the app, it's a lot easier, especially to get to recent events. The most recent stuff is very easy to get to. The older things are hard to find. So they definitely need to streamline their app. But that's not what we're here to talk about. It was the best wrestling purchase I've made, besides the Jericho Cruise, in probably the last 6 months or so or more. Blows WWE out of the water. I'm not afraid to say it. Everybody else is. I've seen the way they set this tournament up is genius. The way this tournament churns out new stars is genius. It sets up 10 new storylines every other night. They have, if Ibushi or Okada's in the main event one night, the next night they're in a 6-man tag, or they're doing something similar. Everybody's out there. It is such a great event. I can't believe nobody else has copied this to a better result. Better result. Obviously, WWE, we're going to talk about it a little bit, is trying to revive and bring a little prestige back to the King of the Ring. But the way this tournament was set up, the announcements of who was going to be in it was very exciting. Moxley said he's in it. Kenta's in it. Naito, Ibushi, Ospreay, Shingo Takagi, all the Bad Luck Fale, Juice Robinson, Tomoishi, all of the big stars. To get into these spots is a very prestigious thing. Who gets snubbed is a big story every year. How Toru Yano, the biggest clown in the world, is going to beat the points leader somehow every year, which I think is ridiculous. But Moxley's first loss in New Japan comes to Yano after getting his leg tied to Shota Umino out in the crowd. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. But the way it turns out new stars, the way it even uses the Young Lions. The Young Lions obviously are like they're up and comers. They're outside the ring. They're on a knee. They're watching, but they're getting involved in the 6-man tags. And Ren Narita, Shota Umino are taking on huge roles over the last year. Shota was put into the junior heavyweight tournament as a replacement at the end. That was big. Shota obviously is Red Shoes' son of Red Shoes, the referee. Ren Narita is emerging. My big takeaway from this is I knew who he was beforehand, but I didn't know his moveset, and then some of his story was Shingo Takagi has impressed me more than anybody.
It seemed a lot of people were very impressed with his turnout.
His Made in Japan is such a sick move. I can't think of the name of a couple of his other ones now, but his moveset is ridiculous. I always knew Ospreay was a great wrestler. Ospreay, I believe, is the best wrestler in the world. I think Ospreay would kick Seth Rollins' ass. Street fight, kayfabe, fucking rock'em sock'em boppers. Ospreay's got Rollins taken by a whole head, I believe. I'm so impressed by the G1. I know I've been ranting here, but amazing setup. And then, if I can jump ahead a little bit of it, some of these great matches, the way it ended up rolling out at the end with Kenta turning his back on Shibata.
What a heel turn that was.
What a heel turn.
Awesome.
If not the heel turn of this year so far, if you think about it. The Shibata story. I knew about Shibata, and it was almost to the day of, I think 2 years ago, if not 3 years ago, Shibata coming out in Ryogoku Hall and telling them, I'm alive. He came out, the place lost their fucking mind. I got goosebumps just now talking about it. Lost their mind. He comes out, picks up the microphone. All he says is, I'm alive, and drops the microphone, and the place lost their mind. Almost to the day, 2 years ago, he did that. So then he was bringing back Kenta. The story is he's bringing Kenta back to New Japan after his disastrous run with WWE and Hideo Itami. The only glimpses, I'm sorry, I'm not letting anyone else talk here. The only glimpses we had of Kenta when he was Hideo Itami were, I would say, his first 2-3 months of NXT when he was with Finn Balor against the Ascension, when they were the last bit of the Ascension.
That's a long time.
Before they were jobbed out for life. We're the best tag team in NXT history at that point. But the excitement and the kicks and everything, Kenta is on fire. The match he had with Okada was amazing. the real innovator of the GTS, CM Punk who. But yeah, you guys talk for a minute, but I want to get back into Shia Bot in a minute.
Did you see, happen to catch the, right away, I forget who, I think it was Tom Tonga tweeted out the old picture of Hideo Itami wearing the Bullet Club shirt at NXT.
Now, was that a real picture? Or is
Yes.
that?
I'm not sure.
I thought it was.
Yeah, look, you know, people are passing it around like it's real. I don't know if that's, if it was, you know,
Doctored at all?
Yeah, if it was gimmick then or what, but fucking great picture.
It's a
It
great
was like they
picture.
planted the seeds back then and all this stuff.
That's awesome.
So Kota Ibushi does end up winning. He beats Jay. He is the winner of the A block, and beats Jay White, who's the winner of the B block.
Sick match.
Somehow Kota Ibushi got like 7 more abs. They start like somewhere around his neck.
Unreal.
Yeah,
Sick
he's
match.
in ridiculous
Sick match. Did you watch
strength.
that match?
You know what? I have not seen the last match yet. That's the only thing I haven't seen.
That was a really good one.
I've been in fair vision for the last week.
You know, the one outside of Kota and Okada being way up, this year I felt like everyone was kind of a little more closer together. You had years where Bad Luck Fale. I mean, last year they were kind of terrorizing the tournament. I think he only had 2 points last year.
Yeah.
Bad Luck Fale.
When Jay White came out, the whole Bullet Club was with him. It's pretty sick.
So,
Yeah, it was sick. I did see that part. Lance Archer actually also
Yeah,
another
I
huge
thought
breakout.
He had a couple good matches.
I also liked how they started it in America. They started at the American Airlines Arena in Dallas. That was really big. A little gamesmanship between AEW and New Japan. Mox was supposed to be on that show, and at the last, a week or two before, they said, no, that's our territory. They're not letting them do that. So that's one of the first moves like that we've seen involving AEW. But the match that night with Lance Archer and Ospreay was out of control. Lance Archer is a beast, and I was actually watching. I'm ridiculous, and I watch the dumbest things. But I was on YouTube last night, and I'm watching. Somehow I got into a video about 50 guys who've only been in a WWE video game once, and he was in WWE years ago as Vance Archer, believe it or not. And I was like, that sounds way too familiar. I looked it up, and it was him.
What time period?
I want to say 2007, 2006, 2007. But Vance Archer, he was in WWE years ago. It didn't work out. He's a beast. He is humongous. Obviously, he was in Killer Elite Squad, which was part of what? Chaos? No, they're not. They weren't with Chaos. They're Suzuki Gun. I believe they were affiliated with Suzuki Gun.
Because he did wrestle with Suzuki Gun.
Yes, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Harry, whatever they call him these days, had a major fall. That was a story about a month ago. He had a major falling out with Gato. He called Gato a liar and said, he said Gato talks like Cartman, which I thought was fucking hilarious. And said he was like, we were messaging on Facebook, and he ghosted me. He's like, Facebook. Like he didn't know what it was. He's like, but I know that's how he messages with Archer. And they made it like, they weren't interested in having me anymore. And obviously, David Boy Smith Jr. is playing a huge role in MLW right now.
He's in the Shooters tournament for GCW coming up.
And I also believe he signed on for the Bloodsport event, GCW, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, which is going to be sick.
That's in Jersey too, I think, right?
Is it really?
I thought it was somewhere close to that.
It's early September, I believe.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything bad about Gato though, because he booked this whole tournament. I've got Gato booked amazing.
Booking genius out of this G1. This G1 blew my mind. I was so excited about some of these matches. I put it on the Facebook page earlier today. Tony Slow Pitch, what's up, Tony?
Tony.
Shingo.
Tony second time out. I've been trying to fix that fucking name since that day. I did it. I hit the button. I looked up at you,
schmuck.
and I was like, Tony, and you were like, look at Tony. And I was like,
Couldn't have been Randy
I cracked
Savage.
I cracked under pressure. How do you change? If anybody out there knows how to change your name on Facebook, can you hit me up?
We're gonna get some tech support.
Yeah.
But I was so pumped for Shingo Takagi and Mox, the match, and they delivered. I was out of my mind. You know these matches are coming for a couple weeks or a month or two beforehand, and you know the schedule. But when you get through and you see who's winning in points and who's leading their block, Naito and Mox was amazing. They set it up 2 days before with the 6-man tag. Mox is on fire in New Japan. Obviously, he's got Shota Umino with him. He's got his own young boy.
His little baby.
Yeah, his little baby. His Death Rider. He's got him wearing his Death Rider jacket. He's doing his Shield entrance. Coming through the crowd. He's got Shota holding the belt for him every time. Love the entrance. Love his energy. I love the whole purveyor of violence thing. I can't wait to see him this weekend.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
It's gonna be crazy. It's crazy all the how AEW heavy this show is gonna be.
Oh yeah. We'll talk. I think there's a little more of that on that when we talk about that.
And they just released the bracket for the Super J Cup, which looks
Yes
sick.
But just one more thing here. Jeff Cobb. I've known about Jeff Cobb the last 2 or 3 years. Very impressive, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing athlete.
He won Battle of LA 2 years ago, I think.
He's a beast.
He was undefeated for a while in Ring of Honor.
Walsh, we saw him wrestle twice, so that means Murph probably saw him wrestle 6 times.
Yes. Oh, we saw him in Hangman at Final Battle.
Final Battle.
And
saw him in the Garden.
And was it him and Ospreay?
Ospreay, yeah.
Which I got to stop drinking so much at these events because we're watching. There's 5-star matches here.
I was
You gotta watch it after.
True story, yeah. And I'm paying to go to the show and I'm paying to get the pay-per-view. But Jeff Cobb, very, very, very impressive. Juice Robinson cut his hair, started the tournament hot. Ishii, Goto, everybody loved New Japan, loved the G1. But let me just finish with this. The story of Shibata and Kenta, Ibushi winning the tournament should be the biggest story, and it is. Him going to the Tokyo Dome and everything. But the way this tournament turned out, other stars and other stories and the excitement, WWE has not had. I can think of 5 or 6 events in this 2 weeks, a 2-month period, whatever it was, month and a half period, where 5 events where WWE hasn't had in 5-10 years.
Yeah.
And like
they're canceling events.
Crazy.
They just canceled a bunch of Raw events.
Crazy.
A Raw tour.
What's the last great heel turn in WWE?
The last great heel turn?
Is it Rollins?
I was gonna say probably Rollins, right?
Is that the last great?
Yeah.
Like, is that the last? You know what I'm saying? How long ago
Big
was
one?
that?
Yeah, that's it.
2014?
Sasha Banks the other night.
That one went pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
But the last great one, I think it's Rollins hitting them with the chair.
I don't know why they don't do it more.
Yeah. Another really good one coming out of WWE, NXT, Roderick Strong on Pete Dunne during the Dusty Rhodes Classic. That was great. But if you think about that, you think about the ones just over the last year or two in New Japan. New Japan just on fire. Mic drop.
Yeah, so before we fully go recommend, I don't know, is Ibushi winning, I don't think is necessarily surprising. I guess I would have thought that Naito would have been in there instead of Jay White, but I guess Jay White had the belt, so you might probably want to keep him up in the top tier of your wrestlers.
He's like the head foreigner, you know what I mean? The biggest foreigner since Kenny left.
But I mean, for a while, Mox was leading that block. You kind of, you knew he had to face off with Naito, but
I seriously thought it was going to be Mox Okada. Was my, but how's Okada going to be in the final when he's still champ? You never know if they're going to take the belt from before that. But I was, the way it was firing, I thought it was Mox Okada.
I always wonder why they had the IWGP champ in there, because then essentially he could win his own case and.
Sure. What are you doing?
Main event wrestling by yourself.
Sure. Yeah. Just sit there on a chair.
That's a
come praise me.
WWE move, right? You guys got
sure.
2 belts and the Money in the Bank case.
Yeah. Vince wins the Rumble. The next night he goes out and he says he gives it up. Yeah.
So overall, I think Walsh gives it a 10.
Out of his park.
It's tough to keep track of wrestling literally every night like that, but to your point, I don't think WWE could handle that. I just don't think that it would work out nearly as well as it does for New Japan.
They have the amount of TV time and programming. They got the network. They have the capability, but they don't have the stars right now. They have every wrestler on this side of the freaking world that they want.
They have
but
stars.
they don't build them as stars. They got stars doing jobs to to Goldberg.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If we want to just kick a second into where the hell are we? Are we going to WrestleMania here?
I think so.
SummerSlam, I mean. They got Dolph Ziggler losing to Goldberg.
In what? Minute 48 seconds?
To redeem Goldberg from getting his ass kicked and out
from
Taker. And not even getting his ass kicked from putting on a stinker.
He kicked his own ass. He knocked himself out
exactly.
on the turnbuckle.
I'm kicking my own ass. He's doing Jim Carrey from Liar Liar. But yeah, how are you going to scapegoat Dolph Ziggler to save Goldberg's ass off that? Just garbage.
There's no reason for that.
No.
That's Ziggler's own fault. He had a chance to leave.
He should have ran.
And he could have been
Mox a year before Mox.
He would have been Mox before Mox. And he is a little more, I don't know what the word is, than Mox. Mox is more of a darker character.
Sure, he's obviously...
Ziggler really could have, I think Ziggler would have been super over in Japan.
Oh yeah, blonde American.
But he took the American money to stay here so he could do his fucking stand-up comedy.
You can't blame him.
No, would you? Right? Guaranteed contract?
Yeah. And then you work 150 dates or whatever it is.
And you're still going to get jobbed out. I mean, his job hasn't changed. Still jobbing out.
I'd say 2-3 years from now, he can still make an impact in New Japan. He'd still be somebody, impressive to show up in AEW.
With enough name value and still in
but,
ability.
Is it how long is he going to let this happen? You know what I'm saying? That we thought a year or two ago he was out because of stuff like this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't think he was signing his last contract.
No, and then shit, things like this. And then I saw a story, I don't know how credible it was today, about how he tried to take off pretty much after SummerSlam. He had a handshake agreement with Vince that after SummerSlam, if he wanted to go pursue his other things, he could. And Vince said, no, they're right now.
Really?
So, I don't know how credible it was, but I read a little story about it.
Good brother signed a new contract, too.
Yes.
Yep.
Big Good Brother staying. Roman just signed.
Roman did? I didn't see that one. I saw the Good Brother sign, and AJ.
Right. And then they let them call themselves the OC. Yeah, Corey Graves said something about where's Misha Barton.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Yeah. They got to give a better name for them.
Yeah, the original club, the only club. That was stupid.
I preferred. Couldn't they just go by BC? Or do you think that's
just the club worked? You know what I mean? They had that going for a couple of years. Let that, hopefully Finn joins up.
They need a new shirt.
That seems all the internet slang is that Finn Balor will be ending up there.
Yeah, the moves they've made with bringing Heyman and Bischoff on, they've been bringing it a little more, I think, to what the fans want to see.
It's been that long we never talked about that either.
Yeah, Heyman got signed on to be the executive producer or Raw or whatever they're calling it now, executive director, and Eric Bischoff's back in wrestling for the first time since what? TNA? Nah, maybe.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe at TNA. So
what's his name?
Fox has taken.
Bruce Pritchard is back behind the scenes.
Yes, Bruce Pritchard's back. Bruce Pritchard's been back for a few months. I think we mentioned that.
Yeah, but we haven't been on in a few months.
True story. That's right. I actually saw Pritchard in that Roman Reigns angle with the scaffolding falling on him. Pritchard's in there pulling people out of the pile. Yeah. You see him over there.
I didn't catch it.
Look at this. Look at this. Mark stealing screen time.
And my son made me watch the clip 50 times, and he's like, he couldn't even get hurt on this. I'm like, just stop, just watch it.
Just let it go. Yeah. The kid's picking it apart.
He's K-Fed.
9 years old. Yeah. I'm like, just enjoy.
So turning gears a little bit to SummerSlam. This happened this past weekend, right?
Yes. Yep. Sunday night.
Big news out of there.
A fucking stinker, wasn't it? It was all right.
Yeah.
But listen, I can't be going to work watching all these fucking New Japan matches and then watching SummerSlam. It just can't happen.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
you're like, oh my god.
NXT was good. The night before, we kind of skipped over NXT. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole put on a great show in the cage.
Tag team match with Street Profits and Undisputed Era was also
was very good too. Obviously, NXT brings it every time they come with the show.
I missed the show. I skipped over it. I just wrote a letter to White Claw. It's their fault.
You've taken many memories away from me.
Yeah. White Claw ruined my weekend.
As I told,
I missed the fucking
as
show.
I told Lucas earlier today, there ain't no law when you're drinking White Claw. Mia Yim put on a good show. Shayna Baszler.
Yeah. Right here's the perfect reason. SummerSlam had 12 matches, and NXT had what? 4 or 5?
Yeah, maybe 5.
You can't have 12 matches.
No.
How was the Mia Yim fight? I've been following her on Instagram for a while.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, she's got a good backstory. They did a good package about her beforehand. Baszler's just Baszler, man. She's a beast. She's steamrolling people.
Yeah.
She's been what? She's been champ a year? I think so,
time.
right?
It's been a long time.
I don't know.
Incredible. She was champ when we saw them in Poughkeepsie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that? February, I believe we saw that show in Poughkeepsie. NXT came. That was right around the time Ricochet was getting out of NXT.
She's got to be coming up on a year then, right?
I think so. That was a great show that night. I was thinking about that when I was watching it.
I think she won the Survivor Series weekend.
Did she win Survivor Series weekend? So then that's not a year. I really don't
It's
know.
coming up on a year.
At this
It's almost
point, though,
September.
You figure she's got to lose the belt. I mean, if they don't do
Why?
horsewomen, I guess she doesn't have to lose the belt, but sooner or later, is that what the goal is?
That was the original plan, but where's Ronda? She's not even out.
Yeah.
Right?
She hasn't had a kid yet, so she's not going
Yeah, right. Impregnation vacation.
Trish Stratus comes back to lose to Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, and their goodbye match, I believe that's.
Although I heard that she wants to wrestle Alexa Bliss, so that would be her last match.
Now we're extended.
Whoever she wants to wrestle, wherever she wants to wrestle, I'm watching.
She's in.
Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton, double count out.
Double disappointment.
You know what?
I was not into that.
It just sucks that this probably leads to Randy Orton getting the belt, and that's worse. The only thing worse than Kofi right now as a champ is having Randy Orton as a champ.
You can't find anything more boring than Randy Orton as a champion.
Think about it. They're going into their big new TV deal on Fox October, was it 20th, I want to say?
Something like that.
Which they're billing as SmackDown's 20th anniversary, which is actually the end of August. Mm-hmm. So, but they're trying to push that on. So they're going to do a big special SmackDown's 20th anniversary.
Bring everybody back.
They're gonna bring it
They're
back.
trying to bring The Rock back there.
Yeah.
Who is going to be the inaugural champion on their new program, on their new...
There was
Can't be ordered.
local advertising. Someone said they didn't know if it was a dark match or not, but it was Kofi, Randy Orton, and someone else in the triple threat for the title.
I wouldn't doubt them doing a title match that night, and a title switch.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta
Yeah,
go big
big.
night one.
Title switch.
And you gotta think about it, it's through 2 weeks after AEW's premiere of their weekly program,
Yeah.
which starts where? Philadelphia, right?
No, DC.
No, DC is the
then
first
Boston,
one,
then
Boston, then Philadelphia. They're starting right up in our area here.
Seth Rollins beats Brock Lesnar. Probably
Yes.
the cleanest loss he's had in a long time. I wouldn't necessarily say it's fully clean, but it's the cleanest
Yes, for
loss
sure.
in a while.
Rollins' third time beating Lesnar in 4 years.
Yeah. I mean, it was fairly believable. They're trying to keep K5 together.
Sure.
I thought it was a decent match, but probably the longest match Lesnar had in a while.
Yes,
Like
I
13
thought
minutes.
about that during the match. I was thinking this isn't his minute, you know, or not even a minute. This isn't his 40 seconds with Miz in Chicago.
Yeah. But, I mean, WWE, it is what it is.
Sure. Yeah, but you know what? I'm happy to
Stop.
see him go for a while.
Stock is tanking. I'm hoping October it
Oh,
rebounds
Fox.
real hard.
I'm
I
gonna
just
have
picked
to
up
join
the
you in that. I think we're gonna.
If you're gonna buy stock in WWE, you buy it now and hope that October the shit takes off.
Sure, that's what I think it's going to take off
When
in
you go to
October.
Fox, because you could easily make some decent money real quick.
I quickly want to go over King of the Ring.
Oh, hold on. Before we get away from SummerSlam, sorry, Murph. Kevin Owens pulling the full Steve Austin, dropping stunners.
He's a big stunner guy now.
Shane is dropping the full Vince McMahon. It's just like the new Ghostbusters with the women. I love Kevin Owens. I hate how they're just reprising the old story, like literally punch for punch.
Yeah.
And we cannot get away from this without mentioning Bray Wyatt and his entrance.
That's true.
The Fiend. I heard that they've already taken the lantern out
That lantern is fucking sick.
on the replays on the network. When you go back, they don't show the lantern.
I did not see it.
If you haven't
It's
seen it,
Basically,
oh shit.
old Bray Wyatt's head and where the
It's
mouth
old
is.
Bray's head.
No.
So when you're first looking at it, you know how his entrance is. Everything goes dark.
Mm-hmm.
It's a close shot on the lantern, but you don't know it's a lantern at first. It looks like Bray's head. You know, it's all waxed, figured out, whatever. And the mouth is glowing. Like, what the hell's going on? And then they zoom back and they show the Fiend coming down, and that's the lantern with the glowing coming out of his mouth. And there's blood coming down. Amazing.
I did
Yeah,
not
that was
see
pretty
that.
sick.
Yeah, they showed the lady that made it was after the event. She was actually allowed to finally show pictures and of her artwork and stuff and what the concept, what they sent her was and stuff. Amazing work, amazing artist. I wish I knew this lady's name so I could give her a shout out. But best entrance
Oh yeah.
of the last year or so
Yeah,
of any
definitely.
promotion. Like,
Who you
It was
shouting
fucking
out to?
sick.
Schmuck said nobody listens.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, hey, what's up, schmuck? Wish I could say shit. So, but he comes down. They use his old song, but they got a remix of it, real creepy. That mask is,
Yeah.
don't let your dying relative see it because they're gonna die.
My
from
kids
seeing this
bolt
shit.
out of it whenever they see it. They fast forward right through it.
Amazing reboot
Really?
of this
Yeah.
character for Bray Wyatt. Obviously, Finn Balor does the job,
Yeah.
but wow,
I
what an
think he was
entrance!
taking time off
After this?
Yeah.
He just got married.
Who?
Not long ago,
Balor.
Finn Balor.
You just got married?
A month or two ago.
Yeah, to that soccer reporter. You see the clip where when they finally went public with it and he was
Like
wasted?
kissing her in the parking lot. I didn't know they were
She
dating
was
at
on
that time.
TV reporting and he kind of walks up and just gives her a hug and you can tell he's just fucking
She
bombed.
asked him about the game, and he's like, "What about the game?" He's like, "What about me and you being in love?" And I didn't know they were dating at that time. I was like, "Oh shit, Finn's wild. He's going full Joe Namath." I think
Yeah.
he tweeted or something. Like, he's going full Joe Namath. Somebody get Finn. Come get your boy. But yeah, sorry to cut you off, but I had to mention Bray
No, that's
Wyatt's
fine.
entrance
I
and
should have brought that up.
they've already pulled the lantern because it's so freaky.
Really?
Yeah, you got to look up that entrance.
So a couple quick things before we get to AEW in the end here. WWE is bringing back King of the Ring for 2019. I don't know. Oh, so they are doing it over a couple.
They're starting it
Thanks.
on Raw. Probably I don't believe qualifiers. I think they've already set it up.
Yes.
If you remember, King of the Ring when we were younger, we were kids, 93, 94, whatever it was. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Mabel. These tournaments,
Cold.
there was qualifying matches on Raw for weeks
DiBiase.
leading up to it. I remember
To
the
the
1, 2,
pay-per-view.
3
Duggan.
Kid. I remember these
But
were.
they still had a lot
this is a
of
big
matches
thing.
at the pay-per-view though. At least
Yes.
like 2
Oh, yeah.
rounds.
The first one with where Hart won, he beat
You had to
Bam
wrestle 3
Bam.
times that night to
Yeah.
win.
Yeah, it was. He put on 3 great matches, completely separate matches. I remember watching an interview, reading an interview about it one time. But it meant something, and the qualifying matches were headliners on Raw and on the Primetime Wrestling, and it was a really big thing. And then it turned into a joke for a while.
Yeah.
King Barrett talks about that's one of the things that pretty much drove him out of WWE. He hated the gimmick. He made the best of it, and Stu Bennett, King Barrett, it was awesome. And I hope he gets back into wrestling.
It's tough. It's funny even because it's tough because you think about Owen, Brett, Austin.
Austin.
There's that
skyrocketed Austin's career
certain
from
people.
there.
Yeah.
That interview. Owen made it his own. The King of Hearts, the Slammies. It was on his. He turned into the King of Hearts for years after that. The Macho Man, Harley Race, Haku. It was a big thing.
King Haku was a
but
big
King
thing.
Haku.
My first ever WWF event. It's fucked up. You guys probably weren't even born. It was like mid '80s.
Nope, I wasn't born.
I'm born in '84. I'm there, baby.
Oh, you're there.
I was there. I was probably in the house.
My dad and his buddies took a bunch of the kids to I think it was the Garden, and the show opened up. I'll never forget it. Your first event, the first guy out the curtain was King Harley Race.
Yeah, really.
Just passed away this week.
Yeah, first WWF live show. The first guy I saw come out was King Harley Race, and he fuck Iron Mike Sharp up.
Iron Mike Sharp, Jobber Hall of Famer.
I bet. So quickly run through SmackDown. You got Ali, Andrade, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Chad Gable, Elias, Kevin Owens, and Shelton Benjamin. From Raw, you have Baron Corbin, Cedric Alexander, who's been getting a real big push lately, Cesaro, Drew McIntyre, The Miz, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, and Samoa Joe.
Who wins?
I love about it is it has great wrestlers in it.
Who wins, or who you want to win? Go ahead, Murph.
I think whoever wins King of the Ring should always be a heel, just because I think that just kind of adds a little bit to it. So, I mean, Baron Corbin kind of sticks out. Drew McIntyre kind of sticks out as someone who I think would win just because it's that heel up factor. Who I want to win, assuming they get some sort of push out of this, I think I would say Andrade or Ali.
Jesus Christ, I should have won first.
So, all right.
The guy just gimmicked my whole answer.
All right, well,
That's
here's
exactly what I was going to say. I was going to say, I want fucking Andrade to win, but I think Corbin's going to win because I think they need a new gimmick for him. Like
that's true.
Commissioner's done.
And you know they love him backstage.
Corporal Corp, what was it?
Corporal Corbin?
No,
what? Corporate.
No, what was his gimmick?
General manager?
Yeah, but he had a
Constable.
So I think they're looking for a new gimmick for him. I think he's going to be King. It even sounds good. King Corbin.
Yeah.
He plays a fucking dynamite heel.
What I would love...
And I think the King's
always a heel. King's always going to be a heel.
What I would love is for Cesaro to make a big heel turn somewhere along the way here, along the lines, hopefully along the tournament, gets dirtier.
Yeah, but you know, with Cesaro, you never know if he's heel or face. Like, he was with Sheamus the whole time. Were they heels or were they faces?
In the beginning,
it depended.
Yeah, it depended.
Yeah, it was like...
But I would love for Cesaro to come out of this on top. McIntyre, and somebody else who could really benefit from it, I believe, would be Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn. Hey, think about it.
Christ. I could benefit from that guy fucking retiring from wrestling. He is awful.
I don't know. Put him back under the mask, maybe. But
yeah,
again, Kevin Owens. I think that's where he kind of shines, is having to play off of Kevin Owens.
But you know, Owens has got his ride right now. You know what I mean? I see Owens on his way up still. I don't know. I would love Cedric Alexander. You know what I mean? Do great in this tournament and things like that. But I don't know. I think Cesaro's deserved the push for years.
Here is their chance to make a comeback on the New Japan shows. Right? Have some real good fucking matches.
Yes.
Yeah.
No 2-minute squashes.
But I mean,
no bullshit.
So if you look at it, between Ali, Andrade, Buddy Murphy, Cedric Alexander, Chad Gable,
you got a lot of guys
Owens,
that can wrestle.
Cesaro is an amazing wrestler.
Ricochet. You got a lot of guys who you could put on some real good matches here and really turn things around. I think.
Samoa Joe.
Get people excited for that, whatever ends up being the main event or the final, I should say.
Well, the problem is they're gonna have like, I mean, I don't know who's fighting who. I haven't seen the thing, but like, let's say you have Ricochet, Ali. You could have a fucking insane match with those guys, but they'll put that like second match of the night, and then they'll close with like Charlotte versus fucking somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. Dude, that's the match you can close the show with, and blow the roof off the place. But they'll put it like.
Would love for the final to be Corbin versus Sami Zayn, because I feel like it's gonna get shit on.
Lucas
so
would
bad.
put his heel through his iPad.
No, I think Corbin is. Wrestling wise is awful, but I think he plays a fucking dynamite heel.
I don't think he's a terrible wrestler. I think he's a great.
He's not the best. We'll say he's not.
No, he's getting better. He's better than Punishment Martinez.
He's got some weird ass fucking name now.
Priest,
NXT.
Judas Priest or something. Something Priest. It is. It ain't Judas Priest. It's something Priest. Damien Priest. Something like that.
I wanted to went on horn here a little bit and give props to Briscoes and God for the New York street fight they had at Manhattan Mayhem.
Yes.
They fucking tore each other apart. Apparently, I haven't seen it yet, but last week in Toronto, they had a rematch. Same thing, ladder wars. I don't know which one was Jay or Mark Briscoe. Had the biggest
torn
gash
up
on his
On
back.
his back,
Literally,
yes.
it had been a
Looked like
foot.
he
A
was
foot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, 20-second timeout. Did you see Pox?
Yeah.
I don't even know what it was.
I didn't want to.
It looks like a sea creature took a bite out of his thigh.
Don't want to see it.
It's not even a gash. What would you even call that? Like
I don't
he
know.
got fucking impaled.
It looked like the bone was sticking out.
It was. I didn't see that. I saw one picture of him sitting, but it's like a whole piece of his legs got. Lucas looking away. He's
I
gonna.
don't even
chuck.
want to see it.
It's not good.
But I just got to give Ring of Honor some shouts. Ring of Honor has taken a beating over the last year.
Yeah.
They
They
lost a lot
relied
of
far too
stars.
heavily on the Elite and
Yes.
Hangman, and
Cody
they have
Hangman.
not built up anyone enough. I mean, you got to figure PCO and Villain Enterprises are kind of your main attraction.
Great turn with Flip. Flip
Yeah.
Gordon going the Mercenary and joining up with Villain Enterprises. I love Marty, obviously a huge star. But they've always got in the back of their mind, is Marty going to run and go with his boys?
Yeah.
So Ring of Honor's taken a beating in the prep, and off the heels of their biggest event, off their hottest their hottest move they ever made, getting the Garden, pairing up with NJPW. I think a better show than WrestleMania. Amazing event. Coming off that, the heels of that, they're reeling. But I've got to say, my sister and brother-in-law actually went to a show out in Washington State where they live.
Oh, really?
They live outside of Seattle. Yeah, they get tickets to all this stuff. And he just went live from there. He's like, he was giving a shout-out, Slow Pitch. So big shout-out to Brian Cole, my sister Erin. But she texted me from the show, hey, we're at Ring of Honor. I was like, what the hell are you doing there? Oh, we're just checking shit out. She says, who's them boys? They love the Briscoes.
Yeah.
And, obviously we know there was the Briscoes, but when their Titantron comes up, it's Dem Boys. All the shirts are Dem Boys. She texted me, who are Dem Boys? Which I thought was hilarious. But she said they were great. They put on a great show.
The finish of that match, one of the Briscoes was up on one of the taller ladders on the top and essentially did a doomsday device of sorts through the table. Fucking unreal. It was fucking absurd. But
this is the show where Murph big
yeah.
timed us and went with
Is that when he
Nina.
let us know the day before? Oh, by the way, I'm going.
No, he told us actually months before he crip walked on us. I was like, I'm home without you.
Have you ever seen the clip of that guy who walks into the gas station? He's got the they hold the door for him and he's just walking in like this, like giving him the player haters ball.
No, one of the best skits of all time. I gotta leave. I gotta go put water in Buck Nasty's mother's bowl. One of the best skits of all time.
All right, so before we get out of here, we are heading to a pretty big event this Friday. Today, I think. We're heading there today.
Yes.
Hopefully,
On the way,
hopefully
backing up the
it's
car.
today we are going to this show.
Murphy. Mr. Murphy. King of kayfabe.
We haven't done a show in a while. We forgot. We're not supposed to mention the exact dates.
Yes.
And that's fine. Well, I'll make it happen. It's
Just
today.
say we're going to
It's
the
today.
show
It's today.
on.
We've got to give now I'm blanking on his name. It's Michael. What's it, Lombardi? Michael Lombardi, the guy that runs Northeast Wrestling.
What?
A big shout out.
Tyson?
I got no fizzle.
My back is broken.
Yeah, Murph, cut out the last 30. It's spinal. Jim Gray has got like
It's
5 of the 10
broken.
greatest interviews of all time. But cut out the last 30 seconds. Northeast Wrestling and Michael Lombardi put on super shows.
Murph left in his what he kept trying to say, fucking Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Arabia.
So he's
It's not
leaving that in.
it's not that. But they put on super shows. They have their events out in Bethany monthly or more than monthly, I feel like.
I think it's bi-weekly.
But when they come out this way and they have big shows out in Bethany and they have them out in the baseball stadiums, the last show we went to was unbelievable. Kenny Omega and Ray Phoenix put on a show. I was actually 20-second timeout. I was watching AAA Mania. Oh yeah, I'm throwing 20s. I'm watching AAA Mania at like 2 o'clock in the morning in my office.
I did catch
at work.
some of that.
Matt Stryker's announcing.
Mm-hmm.
Stryker says, brings up a dream match, Kenny Omega and Ray Phoenix in Poughkeepsie, New York for, I believe, Northeast Wrestling. I'm watching Mexican wrestling 2 o'clock in the morning,
Mexican,
and they're
yeah.
talking about shows we were at. I'm like, I am doing too much and still doing not enough at the same time.
That was, I said it then, one of the,
It was a super
probably
show.
live, the best match I've ever seen.
That
Yeah.
Kenny, who else was there that night? Darby Allin,
Darby Allin,
Pentagon,
Penta.
Jerry Lawler, David Arquette, Mick Foley, RVD, Jack Swagger. Yeah, like RVD's girlfriend, Katie Ford,
Katie Ford.
Ex-wife.
ex-wife.
I see
they're
that,
together,
but I
though.
keep seeing photos. There's something
Yeah,
weird going on
she
there.
was with him at Raw.
Something weird there.
But super shows this guy puts on. This guy is amazing. Not to blow his toot his horn, but the card he's putting on this Friday is unbelievable.
Right.
He's got Enzo and Cass back together.
Can we go
Well, they're fighting singles.
So you got Penelope Ford, AEW versus Tasha Steelz.
Sick
You
match.
got Kaz XL versus the one-man Thrill Ride.
Yes.
Thrill Ride.
That should be pretty cool.
And Thrill Ride, obviously we're big fans of Thrill
I
Ride.
love Thrill Ride. He's so
Awesome
funny.
dude. So I can't wait to see him.
Looking
with Cass.
like a Millie.
Cass, sorry, Murph, to keep interrupting.
Yeah.
Cass looks amazing. Did you see that picture of Cass the other day standing on the ropes?
He's gotten 0 to 100 since the whole seizure. And
He said
coming
it
off all the
a
depression
couple
and
months
stuff.
ago. He wants to get shredded like a fucking tank. I use that hashtag today on Twitter. That's inspiring, man. And he looks it. He looks awesome. They showed pictures of him the night he had the seizure.
He looked like
And
shit.
now he looks better than he's ever looked in his life. I'm so happy for that dude. I can't wait to see him Friday night.
Yeah. Big ups to him. He's gone through a lot past couple years.
He
like you
came
said.
out and he did a great interview talking about his mental health.
He did one with Ryan Satan.
Yeah.
Satan. I don't know why.
He did like a big video like where he's kind of sitting there by himself a lot during the interview, or whatever. But took bigger balls than it takes to do anything to come out and talk about your mental health. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that guy did it, and it was awesome.
You got the tag titles are up. Jerry the King Lawler and Keith Youngblood against King Bryan and David Arquette. I haven't been following the storyline. I don't know why David Arquette has aligned himself now with King Bryan, but
wasn't he
they
fighting?
were mortal
last time
enemies
they
for
were
the longest time
enemies,
there.
Yes, now they're together. I was actually listening to the Jericho
Did we
podcast
miss
the other
a
day with
heel turn?
Arquette.
I might have been the best
Let me
heel
see.
turn.
They were talking about this show on the Jericho podcast the other night, and David Arquette was actually putting over Hale and Collins.
Vic Delicious.
Yeah, saying that he's like they turned out to be like really good friends of his, and they're teaching him so much. Like he was really putting them over. But he was saying
That's awesome.
he was talking about how he's going against Jerry Lawler here. Like it's crazy hearing.
He probably made the heel turn so he could wrestle the King.
Right.
Right. I would love to be someone to say you wrestle.
Brian Anthony definitely over the last couple of years somebody I love watching.
Triple threat tag team. So big AEW here. You got Private Party against Insanely Rude, and then Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy.
I'm the biggest Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy mark in the Northeast, probably the whole fucking Northern Hemisphere. I don't know why, but these two make me happy
Probably
like a
'cause you're a
fucking child.
Big 90210 fan.
Probably. I get
Or
so...
what's that other one? Not the mama.
Not the mom. Oh, dinosaurs. Yeah, dinosaurs.
You love those. That one too.
I love Luchasaurus. And then Marco Stunt. They got this 12-year-old child. If you want to laugh, you got to listen to Jim Cornette describe Marco Stunt. It's hilarious. It's like this 12-year-old who's already almost died. He's going to die. He's going to die just screaming. Jim Cornette cracks me up. But these two are amazing. They actually met in wrestling school when Jungle Boy was like 9.
Really?
He went to wrestling school when he was like 9. He like got into wrestling. His parents were like, well, if you're going to do this, you're going to do it for real. And they sent him to wrestling school like 9 or 10 years old.
That's
They
awesome.
got videos of his
Yeah.
dad
Really?
with him at SummerSlam when he was like
Really?
7, 8 years old.
And Luchasaurus actually went through
Big Brother.
like FCW, Big Brother, NXT.
Did he?
He went, he
Yeah, he
came
went
through
Big
the
Brother.
WCW. I mean, WWE system. He's got a master's degree. Their story's amazing. Their whole a boy and a dinosaur thing. Love them. I was so excited to see them announced for the cruise. I'm so excited to see them. I'm gonna lose my mind when they come out.
Walsh gets the aisle seat for that one.
Oh yeah, big time, big time.
You could have the aisle. I was on the aisle a lot last time.
Murph is flipping through these pictures and I'm getting excited like
So
Christmas.
I'm
is coming.
honestly kind of excited about this match. Enzo against Brian Pillman Jr.
There's a
I'm interested to see
DQ involved
how-
in that.
What?
There's a DQ going to be involved in that.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't think either one of those guys is going to wants the other guy to go over.
Well, I don't know way Enzo wants to lose in his first
Right.
wrestling match
Back. And
since
Brian-
And his last match with WWE was in the Civic Center.
on the 205 Live tour.
Yeah, 205 Live tour. He was the
I did say-
champion.
He came out. He had a promo. He's rocking the NWO logo and it's got the
NZO.
NZO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's not going to lose his first match back in wrestling, and Pillman's not going to lose to Enzo.
Yeah, no one wants
Yeah.
to lose to Enzo, right?
Right,
You know,
right.
let's wait till you see how Enzo wrestles. You know, if he's
There's got to be a DQ involved.
I'm so excited to see that guy too. They were white hot in NXT and WWE when they came up and they interrupted the Dudleys on the Dudleys last night in WWE. Everybody knew every
Place
line.
went.
The place went insane. Probably top 10 crowd reactions of the last 5 or 10
You
years.
can't deny how over they were.
Stupid hot.
Making money.
And as soon as that happens, everybody's like, oh, they
If
suck.
the Hardys
Get
didn't
fuck
come
out.
back at that WrestleMania, I believe that was their night to go over.
They were going to get the
They were
belt,
going to
yeah.
get the belts that night, but the Hardys coming back,
Which is the biggest pop ever.
You know what I mean? Like, amazing.
Biggest pop ever.
But they were
because that was
white
2
hot.
nights after the night after Ring of Honor, right? When they
Yes.
lost to the Young Bucks.
They lost to the Bucks.
That whole 4, 5, 6 month period, the quest for gold, great.
It's funny because the last time we all saw Enzo and Cass, everyone technically,
On a big stage,
breaking up G1 at the Garden, at the Supercard.
which
And they got-
one of the best
they
work
got-
shoots of all time.
They got
I love
They worked themselves into a shoot that night.
Yes.
they got some real fucking heat that night.
Yeah.
Here to Chris Rock style, here today, gone today with Ring of Honor.
I mean,
Not even tomorrow.
To quote Jay-Z, grand opening, grand closing.
Yes.
I don't know how Enzo do. I think Cass will get a real good reception with all things considered, everything going on. I'm kind of interested to see how
I think the
Enzo-
roof blows for both of them, and I'm 50% sure I'm bringing my soft t-shirt. Because I love these motherfuckers. I'm
do have a
Mark.
certified
My name is
G-shirt.
Mark, and I'm raising my damn hand. I can't wait for this show.
I do have a certified G-shirt, I'm not going to lie.
They were white hot.
Ray,
Grab my big cast figure. I got a big cast right there. I'm not even
He
lying.
does.
I got a big cast right on the shelf,
You know what?
baby.
You got everybody.
You
Anybody
soft,
you
you
talk about,
sloppy.
you put it down.
Call me Poppy.
You got a Velveteen?
That's the brand new Velveteen Dream. That's a hot figure, baby.
Wow.
Make me an offer.
another match we got here is Ray Phoenix and
I'll wait
JT
till it's at
Dunn.
Five Below.
JT Dunn, one of the better NEW.
NEW,
Wrestlers.
JT Dunn's on fire in the
He's
entire.
everywhere in Northeast.
I can't even say the Northeast because the dude's all the way. He's in the Midwest. He's going down south. JT Dunn's on fire. If he's not
Death
in
by elbow.
if he's not in Ring of Honor or NXT or one of these other big companies in the next year and a half, I'm gonna be very surprised.
So Ray Phoenix is meant to must have a 30-day contract with NEW, and I fucking love it.
Ray
I
Phoenix,
love that
oh
we
man,
can see them so often.
Yeah.
they're
Yes.
unbelievable. His I don't know if you're calling it a cutter, a diamond cutter, whatever it is ridiculous. It looks like he hurts somebody every time. I'm sure he doesn't. That guy's a ridiculous athlete. The way he can jump between the ropes with his legs, one side on either.
And he wears like Air Force Ones to wrestle.
Yeah, the Lucha Bros are obviously on fire with AEW. Obviously, AAA Mania, Lucha
We just did
Bros
the Hog
and
Show,
Laredo
right? The other
Kid.
night?
Yeah.
Were they at
They're
the House of
they're
Glory?
the House of Glory Tech Champs.
We missed that.
Really?
Yeah.
I
We
wanted to
missed
go.
an
I had to go to the
opportunity.
I
fair.
know. I didn't realize that was down in the Bronx or Queens.
Queens, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the Bucks last independent show.
I know the matches that are coming up that we're going to talk about, but I think this could be match of the night. Ray Phoenix
Definitely could. Ray Phoenix and Kenny Omega
Definitely
was
match of the night.
ridiculous last time we were in this building. Ray Phoenix, JT Dunn obviously has the potential to do the same.
No DQ match for the Northeast Wrestling title. You got Darby Allin, who's the current champion, against Hal Collins. Hal Collins, local boy. He won last time we were in Poughkeepsie. He won the grab for the gold. Right?
Yes.
To get
Is,
his top.
is this his
I don't know
match?
if this is it or if he had it since then. Because I mean, you figure that's almost a year.
Yeah.
Can't imagine he would have waited.
About
long.
6 months. Not, 8 months, 9
Close
months.
to a year.
Yeah, Murph knows math. Almost a year. So I'm not sure if this is that opportunity.
Is this
But
cash in?
But that's not a bad match either.
if you're following AEW and you're following Darby Allin, you've seen this guy's story. He's definitely, they strapped the rock.
Interesting character.
Sure, yeah. He's been like dead inside since he was 5 years old, or whatever the story is. His uncle was driving drunk, and his uncle died. He lived. That's why he paints half of it, because he's half dead of humanity. Is dead inside of him. The coffin drop on Cody where he
Unreal.
missed on the apron was
Oh my
amazing.
God.
This guy's
I don't know how he survived that.
he looks like he weighs about 87 pounds.
Right.
Great moveset. I love the thing he does. Sorry, I gotta clear my throat. The hip, the arm drag where he jumps really high up off the top rope.
He fought Penta the last time, right?
No. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he did.
yeah.
Yes,
That was
he
a
did.
sick match.
Sometimes though he just looks a little awkward in the ring. I don't know if that's supposed to be part of the gimmick, but he doesn't seem very fully fluid, I guess, in some of the moves that he does.
Yeah.
But
He's,
again, that could kind of be part of the
When he
gimmick.
tries to get the running start, you're like, yeah, this guy's a skateboarder. He's not a wrestler.
That's his
Like,
thing.
he starts running in the ring. Yeah.
He was a skateboarder.
Right. But I'm saying it looks like he should stay skateboarding. But then you watch the whole match and you're like, holy shit,
Yeah,
you guys
it
fucking
surprises
awesome.
you.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
And then in the main event, billed as a dream match, John Moxley versus Pentagon Jr. It's very interesting.
It's hard to say that's not going to be match of the night.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree, but I think the other two it's gonna have a high flying match that might be
Right.
more entertaining. I guess I don't know. If
A lot
that's
more
right.
high spots.
Yeah.
Moxley's been working a lot with NEW since he left WWE and since he's been able to do it.
That's because they pay his wife a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think
Renee is on the show. But Mox,
You know who it is?
yeah, holla, holla, holla.
I didn't know Teddy.
Teddy's going to be there. And Funaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, number one.
It's interesting that NEW has such a good relationship with both WWE and AEW currently.
Yes.
They're basically the fucking running the minors for AEW here and letting their guys come in and get work in.
I've heard through Cody in the interviews, a lot of that is through Cody's relationship with Michael Lombardi when he left WWE. He's just said he had a few bad, he's gone over him a few times, but he's had a few real bad experiences. You know, he's detailed the one story multiple times where the guy wasn't going to pay him, then he showed up to a banquet dinner after, but he said Michael Lombardi and NEW treated him so first class that he was going to pass it on to the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and he wasn't lying.
Yeah,
the Bucks have been out here multiple times. You saw them out in Connecticut. Obviously, we saw Omega put on an amazing show in
Omega
November.
made a fucking fortune.
Yeah, and I almost hit him in the
his
head.
that fucking,
the packages.
Oh my god!
But Cody wasn't lying. This guy treats his talent great, and everybody that talks about him puts him over. And I heard people talking about his shows on AAA Mania.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The other night. So this guy's on fire. But I gotta say, this is Moxley's biggest appearance on the Indies since he left.
Yeah.
We're not counting any AEW and NJPW work.
A lot of guys that have wrestled with NEW, when you hear, I've heard a couple interviews and they say like, besides the big ones, who's the best, place to wrestle? And people always say like MLW, and a few times NEW comes up.
Yeah.
They come up.
They had Kurt Angle for a while. He did a 3-match set with Cody, which was great. They went all over.
Lawler's always either
Lawler's
meeting
been
or
for
wrestling
years.
there.
Right?
Yeah.
The Lucha Bros have been there a bunch now.
Yeah, they've been around for almost the last year or so. Sometimes they put on a Lucha show. Right?
Yes.
Remember they did Lucha Mania out
they
there.
did the Lucha Mania.
We didn't do this podcast to put NEW over, but we love them. And they're going to put on a great show for us.
I mean, they're our basically our home promotion, so
yeah.
It's definitely going to be awesome. But yeah, I think I'm really looking forward to Phoenix and JT. I think that's going to blow the roof off. But Mox and Penta.
Oh, I'm going to walk around the Civic Center, moxing it up all night.
Swagging.
Stupid style.
I'm going to walk around the Civic Center because this is the first time I'm going and I'm not driving.
Woo!
A few people could be in trouble.
I think that's all I got this week. You think I have more for 2 months?
Yeah, no,
I think we'd be stacked.
we rocked. Also on this card here, Dustin Rhodes. He's not wrestling, but he's going to be there. Who else is on the card? Is not wrestling? Like we said, Renee Young, Funaki.
LA Park, I think, seems to have some issues. He'd been scheduled the whole time. Now he's not on the poster.
He's not on there anymore. Yeah, that's right. He's not on the poster anymore.
Could be a visa issue.
Yeah.
Who knows? But
Wall
who
one
cares?
up quick.
Who cares? Mox will make it. Dustin will be there. Definitely want to see Dustin after the performance he's been put on lately.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a good time.
End Zone Cast. Let's do it.
We got a ECPW show coming up in October.
October.
We don't do another show.
We'll get the date for you soon. And the other thing we want to talk about is we're going to have a giveaway. We need people to subscribe to this YouTube channel. So we're going to be giving away a lot of nice stuff that comes out of the pro wrestling crates. And,
What's the YouTube channel?
The YouTube channel is Slow Pitch Wrestling. True story.
Makes sense.
YouTube, baby.
So
not Tony Slowpitch.
Not Tony Slow Pitch, not your mom Slow Pitch.
We're gonna fix the Tony.
Not Mr. T Style, Love Your Mother on Mother's Day, on Independence Day.
So shout out to everybody at ECPW. Shout out to Mr. Social Media. Love Jones.
Love Jones on fire.
Love Jones. He's back in the box. I don't know if you caught that. Looking good, Love.
Yeah.
Love Jones. Tori Fuego and Fungus dropped a hilarious promo last week. Did you see that? In the t-shirts and stuff. That was hilarious.
Comes out with no shirt on, right?
Yes.
Fungus with no shirt.
That was hilarious promo.
You guys are pissing.
I almost wore my Fungus shirt, but I had to show a little love to our boy, Big Bacon.
Bacon out on injury. He just
Towns
dropped a new podcast.
Quick, what is it? Little sizzle reels. What's he got? A little
What's sizzling?
A YouTube show. It's hilarious. It's got these little clips. Is it a YouTube show or is it just on Twitter? Or?
It was on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah. Big Bacon killing it. Love that guy. Big shout out to Big Bacon. He'll be back soon.
So until next week or 2 months from now, who knows, right?
We'll be back soon in 2 months. I'll hit you both in the head with a microphone.
All right, boys. Take it easy.
That's it.